NTV Afrika. Welcome to Africa Good Morning, your portal into Africa's potent stories. Today we head to Seychelles, where voters return to the polls for a high-stakes presidential runoff, followed by Madagascar's mounting protests as President Rajoelina faces public outrage. In Burkina Faso, 8 workers are detained over espionage allegations, while Nigeria's science minister resigns after a forgery probe. South Africa extends Zimbabwean permits, Somalia embraces Swahili for East African integration, and Namibia honors Sir Seretse Khama in Windhoek. Plus, our Namibia news videos capture national achievements and economic updates, spotlight Africa's rising universities and inflation policy shifts. Watch us on DStv 285, GOtv 25, 1up2.com, and NTV Afrika on YouTube. My name is Ashwin Berry. Top stories shortly. Let's get into our top stories. Voters in Seychelles returned to the polls yesterday for a decisive presidential runoff between incumbent Wavel Ramkalawan and Patrick Herminy, the former National Assembly Speaker from the United Seychelles Party, which recently reclaimed a parliamentary majority. In September's first round, Herminy narrowly led Ramkalawan with 48.8% of over 64,000 ballots cast. Ramkalawan's L'Union Démocratique Seychelloise coalition lost its parliamentary control, meaning a victory would place him over a divided government. Voting commenced on outlying islands and for essential workers, with main island stations opening Saturday and results expected Sunday. Ramkalawan, who became the first president outside United Seychelles in 2020, highlighted his role in the economic recovery from COVID-19 and argued for a second term to strengthen social protection, infrastructure, and foreign investment neutrality. Seychelles, comprising 115 islands, is highly vulnerable to climate change and faces high heroin use per capita. Herminy, previously arrested in 2023 on charges later dropped, aims to restore United Seychelles' dominance, drawing support from eliminated candidates. His platform includes reversing the retirement age and cancelling an environmentally controversial hotel project threatening UNESCO coral atoll. Moving on. Madagascar's President Andry Rajoelina has asked for 1 year to address the nation's challenges, pledging to resign if problems persist in response to growing protests that began over water and electricity shortages but have expanded into widespread dissatisfaction. Speaking in a town hall-style meeting at his palace, Rajoelina invited government supporters to share their perspectives, stressing the need for truth over flattery and blaming prior assurances of normalcy for current issues. The youth-led protest group Gen Z Mada rejected engagement, citing government repression, assaults and humiliation of young people, calling for continued demonstrations and a nationwide strike following a 48-hour ultimatum. Despite Rajoelina's assurances that new power projects will add 265 megawatts to the grid, the government reshuffle, including the sacking of the entire cabinet and the appointment of a military general as prime minister, was rejected by protesters. Demonstrations that began on September 25 have led to at least 22 deaths and numerous injuries, according to the UN, though authorities dispute figures. Life in much of the capital continues normally, with only select neighborhoods experiencing heavy police presence and road monitoring as tensions do persist. In our next story, Burkina Faso's government has arrested 8 foreign aid workers, including members of the Dutch-based international NGO safety organization, accusing them of espionage and passing sensitive security information. The detainees, comprising 3 Europeans, a Malian, and 4 Burkinabe, include the INSO's country director and deputy, and authorities claim their actions threatened national security. The NGO denied the allegations, stressing that its work was transparent and focused on ensuring humanitarian staff safety in one of the world's most dangerous regions. The arrests reflect the growing mistrust of Western organizations amid the military-led Alliance of Sahel states' efforts to assert sovereignty, expel foreign troops, and restrict NGO and media operations. Since Captain Ibrahim Traoré assumed power in 2022, Burkina Faso has expelled French troops and limited international organizations. The INSO had been suspended on July 31 for allegedly collecting sensitive data without authorization, yet the government claims it continued activities secretly. Analysts note the AES states are increasingly aligned with Russia for security support and pursuing collective withdrawal from the International Criminal Court. Humanitarian groups warn the crackdown could worsen access and deepen civilian suffering amidst jihadist violence. Before we take a quick break, we go to Nigeria. Uche Naji resigned as Nigeria's Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology after a 2-year investigation revealed he forged credentials submitted to President Bola Tinubu and the Nigerian Senate during his 2023 confirmation. The investigation found that both his degree and NYSC discharge certificates were falsified, confirming long-standing allegations. Nigerian law stipulates penalties for forgery, with the Criminal Code Act prescribing up to 3 years for ordinary forgery and life imprisonment for documents involving official seals. Though Naji's documents lacked such seals, the Penal Code applicable to northern Nigeria allows imprisonment of up to 14 years, while the Miscellaneous Offences Act prescribes up to 21 years for forging documents intended to deceive authorities. Legal experts indicated that the resignation opens way for further investigation and potential prosecution. Critics had questioned Naji's qualifications since July 2023, noting discrepancies in his educational claims, and the investigation confirmed he had never received a degree from UNN. Despite aides making unsubstantiated claims during his absence from a press conference, Premium Times documents showed Naji was still attempting to complete examinations at UNN when claiming to have graduated. His resignation was accepted by President Tinubu shortly after the findings were published. We're going to take a quick break before we continue with South Africa extending visas exemptions for Zimbabweans. Continuing with AGM's top stories. South Africa has announced the extension of Zimbabwean exemption permits until May 28, 2027, providing continued legal protection for roughly 178,000 Zimbabwean nationals who fled economic hardship in their home country. The extension, signed by Home Affairs Minister Leon Schreiber, ensures permit holders maintain full legal status, freedom of movement, and exemption from arrest, detention, or deportation, while consultations on a long-term immigration framework continue. Originally set to expire in November this year, the directive grants an additional 18 months for the Immigration Advisory Board to conclude its review and propose a sustainable resolution addressing the status of Zimbabweans who have established lives in South Africa over the past decade. Schreiber highlighted the extension as a measure to balance protection with ongoing policy deliberations. However, opposition party Action SA criticized the move, labeling it a sign of indecision and calling for decisive leadership and clear timelines. The extension has renewed regional debates on migration and the economic pressures driving cross-border movement, underlining the complex dynamics affecting millions of Africans seeking stability, opportunity, and security across the Southern African region, while prompting government and stakeholders to seek long-term, comprehensive solutions. In our next story, Somalia plans to introduce Swahili into its national curriculum as part of efforts to enhance East African integration. President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud announced at an East African Community Summit in Mogadishu. Currently, English is the primary language of instruction in secondary schools, with Arabic as the only compulsory second language. The president emphasized that universities, particularly Somali National University, should expand Swahili instruction to support trade, communication, and learning across the region. Education Minister Farah Sheikh Abdullah Kadir reinforced ambitions of nationwide adoption, aiming for Swahili to eventually complement or even replace English in certain contexts. Swahili, spoken by over 200 million people, has historically been used along Somalia's southern coast, with its reach expanding due to decades of civil war and refugee movements to Kenya. Returning refugees fluent in Swahili, combined with the presence of African Union troops from East African nations since 2007, have contributed to the language's growth. Previously, junior schools taught in Arabic until 2016, with English used for secondary and tertiary education. But integrating Swahili formally, Somalia seeks to boost economic growth and reinforce regional ties, leveraging the language as a tool for cultural cohesion and cross-border collaboration within the East African Community framework. And in the last of our top stories, Namibia's President Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah unveiled the renaming of Veld Street in Windhoek to Sir Seretse Khama Street. She was joined by Botswana's President Duma Boko and former Botswana President Ian Khama, son of Sir Seretse Khama, Botswana's first president from 1966 to 1980. The ceremony, attended by dignitaries, honored Khama's legacy as a key anti-colonial leader and advocate for democracy in Southern Africa. The street name change reflects strengthened ties between Namibia and Botswana, celebrating Khama's contributions to peace and regional development. Those have been our top stories on Africa. Good morning. After the break, we continue with Namibia, this time highlighting the news videos from the latter part of this week. Stay with us. First, the weather. Getting into our news video stemming from the land of the brave, Namibia, President Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah says Namibia's representatives abroad have served with selfless dedication, representing not only the president but the entire Namibian nation with excellence. She said this whilst welcoming returning heads of mission at State House. This video is courtesy of the Namibian presidency.
To welcome you back from your areas of operation and to sincerely express gratitude to all of you for your selfless services and dedication as representative of Namibian abroad. I must say that you have represented the president very well, and of course, the entire Namibian nation. As you know, we have missions in all the continents of the world, and that is where you have left the mark on what Namibia is and what Namibia can do in the international world, both at bilateral and multilateral level. I'm therefore thanking.
You are still with Africa Good Morning, going through Namibia's videos of the week, from the president to the vice president. Lucia Witboy, who launched the Direct Cost of Disability for Families in Namibia report compiled by UNICEF in partnership with the Office of the Vice President and the National Disability Council. She said the report highlights the economic impact of disability on families and will help shape inclusive policies and smarter investments. The launch was held at Dagbreek Resource School in Windhoek, and this video is courtesy of Elliot Ipinke.
Persons with disability to families in Namibia and goods and services required by persons with disabilities in Namibia for full and effective participation. Let us read about it.
Now, the Health Ministry officially launched its national strategy for reproductive, maternal, newborn, adolescent health and nutrition, as well as the triennial report on maternal deaths and stillbirths in Namibia. According to the ministry, private health facilities have not been submitting statistics, thus creating a gap in figures. This report is by Elizabeth Klebes.
Promoting early and exclusive breastfeeding, preventing and managing childhood illnesses, ensuring access to immunizations, and addressing adolescent health issues, including sexual and reproductive health. Complementing this strategy, the triennial report on the confidential inquiry into maternal deaths, stillbirths, and neonatal deaths provides a critical analysis of the factors contributing to these tragic outcomes. This report is not just a collection of statistics, it is a powerful tool for understanding the systemic shortcomings, delays in care, and healthcare provider-related issues that contribute to these preventable deaths. As we eagerly anticipate the Honourable Minister's address this morning, which will provide further insights into these vital initiatives, let us recognize the significance of this moment. Today, we set the stage for a renewed commitment to reproductive, maternal, newborn, and adolescent health and nutrition in Namibia.
Rossing Uranium donated 1.3 million Namibian dollars to the Arandis Town Council for the renovation of the community hall and the town's sports and recreation field. The community hall, established in 1979, has not been renovated since its inception. This initiative is expected to boost social development and community engagement in Arandis. This Irongo Talk report was by Lena Ndakavenjo.
Rossing Uranium has contributed 1,300,000 towards Arandis Town Council for the renovation of the community hall as well as the sports field. The community hall was established in 1979 when Rossing started mining and has not been renovated since then. Liesl Davids from Rossing also speaks on these facilities that there will be a way to create opportunities
to come together not only to preserve our history, but also to create new opportunities for our youth, our elders, and everyone in between.
The council itself also contributed 500,000 towards the renovation for both these facilities. Both these facilities have been meeting points for the community for businesses, entertainment, sports, and economic development. The community hall is currently facing an issue of broken windows and the stage is not properly equipped anymore. The materials are looking old and probably need to be painted too. According to the council, the roofing is no longer standing strong and will be repaired too, as well as other facilities in the community hall. The sports stadium will be under renovation. There is no proper running track for the community yet. This stadium will be used for sports to enhance sports development for the people of Arandis. The sports stadium will also be among the two things that Rosing Uranium plus the council have both donated for.
And in the last of our videos of the week, at Windhoek Afrikaans Privaat School, students made contact with the International Space Station and had the opportunity to ask questions directly to astronaut Mike Fink.
How do you overcome the challenge of missing home and family as you travel in space? Over.
Yeah, we have no audio. Please repeat.
Hi, my name is Emily. How do you overcome the challenge of missing home and family as you travel in space? Over.
Good to hear you in space. I miss my family very much, so we have a video conference once a week and I can talk to all of my children and to my wife. Over.
Hi, my name is Aaron. What life support systems help observers survive in space? Over.
Have oxygen to breathe in, and when we breathe out carbon dioxide, so that gets taken out of the air. So that is some of the important things for our life support system. Over.
What an incredible opportunity. That is truly how you plant seeds for the leaders of the future. That's been Africa Good Morning, not just today, but throughout the week. Let's have a look at the economic indicators before we swing back, just to say goodbye. Thank you for staying with Africa Good Morning throughout the week on DStv 285, GOtv 25, NTV Afrika on YouTube, and oneup2.com. On oneup2.com, you can always click the echo icon and have a look at all NTV programs at your time. Absolutely, because on oneup2.com, Echo Prime Time is any time. It's been a wonderful week. We return on Monday with news from Zambia as Mike Sichula delivers the Zambia report from Lusaka. And of course, we'll start out with the top stories stemming from the African continent, where we expect to have the Seychelles runoff election results. So enjoy the weekend. Stay safe out there. From me, Ashwin Betty, and the Africa Good Morning team, Sweraja Kanaka.